McCaul.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman, for holding this important hearing. I also would like to thank Ambassador Khalizad for briefing committee members this morning, where we had a robust and informative discussion on a range of timely issues. I look forward to staying engaged with him. I do want to say, for the benefit of the members of this committee, the chairman and I stand unified in our commitment to the preserving the integrity of this committee. This is the second oldest committee in the Congress, dating back to the Continental Congress. We do have Article 1 constitutional oversight responsibilities, and we do deserve that respect. Just last week, we commemorated the 18th anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks that took the lives of 3,000 innocent people. It was one of the most tragic days in American history. In the aftermath of 9/11, counterterrorism and homeland security became our top priority. It was necessary to go on the offense militarily and attack the terrorists abroad. That strategy included invading Afghanistan, removing the Taliban, and destroying al-Qaeda. Since 2001, we have achieved many successes on the battlefield and through diplomacy. Specifically, we have decimated the leadership of al-Qaeda. We captured Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, killed Osama bin Laden, and most recently removed his son and rising leader Hamza bin Laden from the battlefield. And most importantly, we have not allowed Afghanistan to be the staging ground for another devastating attack on our homeland. We have also helped implement many political and social reforms. Millions of Afghanistan people have voted in democratic elections at all levels, and Afghan women who are not allowed to attend school or hold a job during the brutal reign of the Taliban in the 1990s have made significant gains, and I was pleased to hear women were part of these negotiations. These accomplishments have not been without great sacrifices. Over 2,300 Americans have given their lives in this conflict, including Sergeant First Class Jeremy Griffin, who was killed in action in Afghanistan just on Monday. Over 20,000 more have been wounded. We must never forget their courage or the price we have paid in both blood and treasure to protect our homeland and to build a better future for Afghanistan. Unfortunately, the Taliban has made significant gains. Today, they control almost 50% of the country and have become increasingly violent. But after 18 years on the battlefield, the American people and members of Congress want to know what our plan is for peace moving forward. I'm glad the President decided against welcoming leaders of the Taliban to Camp David, particularly in the week of 9/11. Perhaps the current suspension of talks will allow us to reevaluate our strategy. And this committee, Mr. Chairman, I should say, and the Congress, have a role in the process. There's no doubt that all of us would like to see this war come to an end, and I fully support the administration's efforts to bring a diplomatic resolution to this conflict. But there's also real doubt that the Taliban can act as legitimate partners for peace. By all accounts, their ties to al-Qaeda remain intact. And further, the Taliban is not a monolithic organization. To only engage with the organization's central leadership overlooks local power brokers who do not always follow them. We also have to keep in mind many in the Taliban have some long-standing objections to a negotiated peace. They think our military will come home no matter what. I think some more extremist factions were responsible for that attack just to end the peace negotiations. And as Ambassador Crocker has assessed, and I've visited with him many times in Afghanistan, when he said, quote, "The Taliban will offer any number of commitments, knowing that when we are gone and the Taliban is back, we will have no means of enforcing any of them." We must also avoid the same mistake President Obama made in Iraq by withdrawing all of our troops. For the purposes of preventing another 9/11-style attack on our homeland, I personally believe that we should keep a residual force in place to focus on counterterrorism intelligence and partner force training. I'd also like to thank Ambassador Wells and Ms. Freeman for being here. This hearing really comes at a critical time. As I can say, we did commend Ambassador the Primary Ambassador and Special Envoy this morning for his commitment and his service to the country in what I consider to be one of the most difficult negotiations on the planet. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.